Katie and Matt, walking the scene with you in no flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. Their insights so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands strong. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome back to the VHS Club. It is Disney night. It's Goofy movie night. And we are really excited to have not one, not two, but three special guests on tonight. So welcome to Josh. We have Sean and we have Caleb hanging out here with us tonight. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So looking forward to this episode because we haven't done, I think Jetsons is the closest and the only cartoon we've done to date. And Nat and I have decided, so before anyone comes at us, we're not going to rate a Disney cartoon. We're just not going to do it because this is one of these things where everyone has an absolute favorite, and this is so many people's favorite movie. So I am just really excited to dive in. So safe space here. If you don't like it, don't let us know, and if you love it, let us know. Let us know why. Let us know in the comments what your first memories or all your memories are of this one. So I think it's. I was blown away by how many people over the last few days were like, it has such a strong connection to this movie because spoiler, I've seen it and I remember like Goof Troop and I watched the show and I liked the movie, but I definitely did not have the obsession that everyone else does. So I'm excited to have some special guests on to fill in some of the gaps. How about you, Nat? It was like you were the same as me, right? This was like
I think it's because when it came out we had just started high school, so we didn't have much interest in kids movies at that age.
That might have been.
Also, like Kurt Cobain just died, so we had bigger things on our plate.
we were mourning. We were in the state of mourning. Well, Josh,
I remember watching it, but I remember like our younger brothers loved it way more than we did.
Yeah, totally fair. Josh, how about you? I know this was your pick, so So what makes it your favorite or one of your favorites?
This was a VHS watch, of course, and it was actually a stocking stuffer for me because I couldn't get like chocolates and apples and oranges because I was tube fed at the time. So this was a special thing where it was like, yeah, here you go, stocking stuffer. So
VHS is stocking stuffer. I love that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And of course, I was a fan of Goof Troop, so it fit perfectly. Max was older than he is in the show by maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
So.
Yeah. So, and of course, I was 9 when I got it. So, yeah, it was just the perfect age to be like, yeah, Max and Goofy on a road trip.
How about you,
Sean? And the music too.
And the music. Yeah, the music in this movie is ridiculously good. What about you, Sean? What's your memory of it, or what are your feelings on Goofy movie?
So this one is one I had to go back as an adult and find because 95, I think I was working in restaurants. I really wasn't watching a lot of cartoons.
Come on.
So, but my brother and sister are 10 and 12 years younger than me. So I got to carry my childhood a little bit into theirs. but I think I'd left the house. I might have been living in Florida around this time, actually, anyway. So I missed it. And then I've actually did it in reverse. I watched an extremely goofy movie first and then went back and found this one. And now as a dad, it just hits a little differently.
It really does. I think that was like the thing that really resonated with me this time around. So like I faintly remembered watching it as like I knew of it. I knew I could visualize different scenes in my head, but watching it as a parent this time, I was like, oh, the feelings, so many feelings of just like trying to not be embarrassing for your kids, or maybe sometimes trying to be embarrassing for your kids, and and wanting them to like the same stuff that you do. I am definitely like, it made me like viscerally remember being on road trips with my dad where he was like pointing out things that I didn't care about. And I definitely am doing the same thing to my kids. So yeah, I felt the same way. How about you, Caleb? What's your feeling? You were like, this is my favorite movie. So.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite. Yeah. So on Instagram, but, yeah, I grew up with it. I mean, I was only the film came out in 95. I was born in 97. So I watched it in the early 2000s on a loop until the tape broke, probably. But yeah,
We've all
just the
been there.
memories of this film. It's funny how, I mean, I'm a history guy, and it's funny how this film did not get as much recognition that it did during its premiere.
Nope.
And now this cult following is crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I love this film. It's just, there's so much I could talk about. So, yeah.
Well, I love it. We'll definitely jump in. So first bit of trivia of the night, and I'm sure people can correct me or add in some. I know Paul is hanging out with us in the live studio audience, so feel free to drop in all the trivia. I was surprised when I watched the documentary that this movie was actually not. It was produced largely overseas, so they were producing it in France, in Australia, in Canada. Shout out to our Canadian crew here, which I think was kind of interesting. And I also really loved that it's not a Disney classic. So I had this whole conversation with my husband about it as we were finishing up watching the documentary, because he was like, well, it's not a Disney classic. And I was like, it's intentionally not a Disney classic, though. Like, it's not based on a fairy tale. It's meant to be in the 90s. It's meant to like bring together teenagers and parents. It's meant to be this like heartfelt story, which I think is really, I don't know. I kind of liked it about that. I like that it is dated, quote unquote dated. I like that it's filled with nostalgia, and I kind of like that it's not one of the like evergreen giant classics. So there's a grittiness to it that I think makes it special. But I love an underdog and a cult classic, so maybe that's part of it.
And it was also not produced by the main Walt Disney Animation Studios crew either.
Yeah.
They were all busy on like Pocahontas and all that. So they
Lion King came out right around that. It was
so
I had no idea, and Sean, maybe you know a bit more about this too, but I like, because since you are in the Disney space so much with what you do, but I had no idea how long it took to make a Disney movie. They're like the average production for a Disney movie was 4 years at the time, which I guess
crazy.
Makes a ton of sense, but I was just like, whoa, 4 years to make a movie? That's crazy.
My oldest kid has an internship at Pixar this summer.
Yeah.
And so we just got back from touring that place and seeing them out there, and they're looking at stuff that's coming out in like 2031, that they're starting on now. It's insane.
DM me all that. No kidding.
I mean, and that was part of the thing, right? Disney did a lot of their live action stuff because it was cheaper and faster.
Yeah.
So he could spend the money on the cartoon productions.
Yeah.
If that, tells you anything about how they do it. It's nuts.
It sits like wonderfully in between. It's like, so I didn't really realize until I was doing more research on the movie, but the kind of the categorization within Disney. So it's like, there was like these movies that are the like kind of, the super famous, what are now, classic Disney cartoons. And then there were like faster, lower budget movies that they made that were just like whatever TV show that they were doing at the time that was made into like a feature film. It was interesting, like thinking about all of it. And I even though this is not like by any means my favorite movie, and I don't have like the level of nostalgia that you all do for it, or many of you do for it. I like there is something awesome about this like team that just sought out to make something, and it just like defied the expectations, which I just really love. Like I love that it became this like, you know, as you were saying, Caleb, like just became this like crazy cult classic. And like for the last like 20 minutes of the documentary, it's just people on shows like this like raving about how much they love it, which I think is fantastic. Like I don't know, there's something special
Yeah, it
about
was
that.
mostly that most of those people were YouTubers and stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
What I
it's
liked
awesome.
was the director said that the inspiration for this was John Hughes. He just wanted to make it like a snapshot of the time period, of the now, and about teenagers today. Like that was his idea. And to try and get that sort of heartwarming coming of age sort of moment that John Hughes was magic at capturing. And I think it did a pretty decent job. Like it really did show the 90s. It really did show that sort of struggle that teenagers have with their parents, and the struggle that parents have, like understanding or even, I guess, letting go that their kid is now not a little kid anymore, but is becoming an adult. So it's like they showed that struggle really nicely, and how you do get through it, because it is something you get through. We all go there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even
go ahead.
I was gonna say he even included kind of the caste system, like Pretty in Pink or Breakfast Club. You know, it was touched on lightly that he was a dork and that Pauly Shore somehow was in charge of the AV club. But but I mean, you know, it did have him being that nerd that liked a girl and no one's gonna like me and no one notices me, and you know, it's pretty
And like a classic John Hughes. She had red hair.
Right. And the only way out is through singing and dancing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, Roxanne was really one of those characters that, again, a lot of people love, and they cosplay her, and
they do. It's just, again, just crazy to me. I love it. I think it's absolutely awesome.
I love Kelly Martin. She's the actress who did Roxanne. It was so funny because Katie texted me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's the girl from The Face on the Milk Carton." And I was like, "Yeah, and starring in ER." She had really big roles. And Katie picks this one TV movie
because weirdly
that's what
enough,
I know her from.
That movie is one of those movies that, like, and again, I would not say that is by any means like my favorite movie, but that movie like stuck in my head and is so iconically 90s to me, because it was like, it like literally summarized this concept of like after school specials and like you could be kidnapped, your face could be on a milk cart. Like it was literally like the epitome of that. So that movie is like lives rent free at the back of my head as both a child and now as a parent. Like, you need to be scared of this, Katie. She is literally the face of it for me. So I saw her in the documentary, and that's all I could think. Like, it was just something in my brain was like, oh my gosh, this movie. So yeah, but she was amazing as this character. But I thought it was super fun getting to see the actual actors. Like, they're again like just Disney is literally magic, and B, getting to see like both the like actual process of animating a movie in that like actually hand-drawn animation is just beautiful. But seeing the actors, like getting to see Goofy, the actor who plays Goofy, which you normally never do, was nuts. Like, just, I don't know, so cool. Like the history of that, it's kind of like, I don't know, every time I think about that, like what a cool career to be that famous, but like still completely fine to walk into a grocery store. Most people are never going to know who you are.
That's the thing. Right. It's those actors I've heard, they're like, oh yeah, I don't need the recognition. I just can be that person in the background that doesn't need the fame and fortune, but you can.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I've met, well, it was only for 2 minutes, Jim Cummings, who is Pete in here.
Oh,
so
great.
Yeah, it was fun to. I was just having that moment of like, you know, because he's Winnie the Pooh and all these other characters like I grew up with. So
yeah,
it was crazy. But yeah.
All right. Well, favorite moments. Caleb, we'll start with you. What was your favorite moment or moments of this movie?
Man, there's There's so many. Gosh, I mean, Powerline. Obviously, we have
Yeah.
to talk about that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that scene is crazy. The all the fun part, the dance and stuff, and you see in the documentary, obviously, the dance. What else? Lester's Possum Park.
Jeez.
Man, I should have bought a Roosevelt shirt because there was all these like things based off these like the Lester's Possum Park, which actually
That would make a great shirt. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
director is actually the voice of Lester, which is
Yes, he is.
Mm,
I love that.
that's incredible.
like what I'm looking at right now, the scene where he does Powerline again in the beginning, where he
Oh
sings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Mickey makes an appearance, I think, in the crowd if you look really closely,
Yeah.
and in the backstage. So it's really cool to see stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
the
think.
Easter eggs.
But what up about you guys? What's your favorite
Yeah. How about you,
moments?
Sean? What's your favorite moment?
Well, I was going to say the video in the beginning because I like when he comes out, and I just think what a great way to get out of being a dork and to
Yeah.
have that much
Yeah.
courage really inspired me. I'm like, I mean, I was jealous of the guy, but and more so than a scene. So I really did have like a moment with my dad, and it's what I only have a couple regrets in life. I've made a lot of mistakes. But as far as actually regretting things, I regret not taking the lead part in Inherit the Wind when I was in high school because it was offered to me and it just seemed like such a huge commitment. So I didn't do it. And I would have liked to seen how that worked out. But when I was in Boy Scouts, I was almost an Eagle Scout and I quit over a girl going into a supermarket. And I'd just gotten done. I don't know, I was 12 or 13. And this girl had never talked to me before and she never talked to me afterward.
Yeah.
But I was taking off my Boy Scout shirt and my dad, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm not wearing it in the store. Why not? Well, I don't want to look a dork. And he said, you should just quit. So I did. I quit Scouts over some girl that never spoke to me in my entire life.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
looking back at some of the things Goofy's trying to do with his kid, I think, gosh, why didn't I participate more? What did I miss by being a spoiled little brat?
Yeah, they actually said I was reading like a couple articles about this movie and they said that like that experience is what makes this movie has such a cult following, is that everyone, when they if they watch it when they're younger, they see themselves in Max and they find Goofy's character to be like, I roll, like, stop it. And if you watch it as an adult, you're like, why is Max so mean to Goofy? Like, poor
Right.
So like
Exactly.
it is
No
deeply
prefrontal
relatable.
cortex.
Yeah, it's completely relatable on both sides of the coin. And
Yeah.
it is really, I don't know, it's kind of
At least,
amazing that they could do that around a character like Goofy, who by and large was like pretty much only existed as comic effect up until this point. Like he was
Yeah.
slapsticky.
That's one thing
like,
I
yeah.
remember. The thing that I remember the most about this movie was wondering why they're making a movie with Goofy as the main character.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Like, who thought of this?
And-
And
and
then the
maybe-
movie's great.
Goof Troop
maybe
was
it
so
was
popular.
just right fan service because
Yeah.
everyone liked those 5 characters so much.
Yeah, and I
that
think
they're-
that's what they said in the documentary. They said, "What was your favorite characters?" And they said Goofy. So
Yeah.
that was one of them.
Yeah.
Because people love Pluto the most. My son, that's his favorite. He
Yeah.
loves Pluto more than
Nice.
Mickey, or Donald Duck.
Yeah.
The
So
thing is, with Bill Farmer was supposed to be was Goofy, but they were Jeffrey Katzenberg wanted Steve Martin because he was this family man,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, just use your real voice," and he's like, "Okay," and then Jeffrey Katzenberg was like, "Oh, okay, this is not good. We just do the Goofy voice."
Right.
Oh, the Goofy voice is iconic.
It would
Yeah.
have been
Yep.
so crazy. By
It
the way,
would have
happy
been weird.
birthday to Steve Martin today.
So
But it
weird.
would have been crazy. It would have
So
been crazy.
weird.
Absolutely. Josh, how about you? What's your favorite moment?
Okay, so when my favorite moment in this movie is when Max encounters Roxanne in the principal's office
Yep.
while he's waiting for Mazer to be done with Bobby. And because I remember as a teenager thinking, that's me. I was so awkward around girls that I had
Yeah.
crushes on in high school. Like, yeah. So, when when that happens, and then he starts dancing the mambo like
The
Goofy
mambo.
had in the beginning of the movie. I'm like,
Everybody
Yeah.
mambo.
yeah.
Oh, I love it. Nat, did you have a favorite moment?
Yeah, I loved at the end of the movie at the concert,
Mhm.
where we get Goofy stumbles into a changing room and
Yeah.
it looks like a drag queen getting dressed to
Yeah.
go on stage. And then when she gets on stage, I'm like, that's Ursula.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
then I find out that the director is the one who drew Ursula. And I was like,
Yep.
oh wow, that really was a drag queen getting ready to go on stage.
Yes, that really was
It
Ursula.
was
yeah.
so funny. I'm like, that
Yep.
was Ursula because he made Ursula. Like, it was fantastic. Or he worked on Ursula.
That's incredible.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
loved it because I was like, you immediately recognize all those little, like when Disney reuses the characters and like just
Yeah.
recolors them or slightly reshapes them and stuff. I love that because it always ties you into the whole Disney world, and it just, I really like those little touches.
Yeah.
Also, it was super funny.
There's also actually one more moment.
Go for it.
It's actually the most important moment, the hot tub scene.
The hot tub
Oh, yeah.
scene. That's a
That is
hard
when,
moment too.
That's a
like-
very hard moment,
Yeah.
but it's actually a real moment.
Yeah.
In time,
Yeah.
like you literally are with Goofy and Pete talking about his relationship with Max, which is really, really important. So
And it's
Yeah.
heartbreaking because
was
you
sad.
know that Pete is a jerk, but also he's
Yeah.
right. But he's
right,
like
yeah.
not really right because you're like, but Max is a teenager. Yeah, that was a hard scene.
Like, Goofy just needed to ask Max
I
at any
know.
point, like,
Well,
what happened at school today?
Yeah. So like
What
I wrote
exactly
in my
everything?
I wrote in my blog post on my review of the movie that movies like this, the plot usually hinges on the adults being really, really dumb for most of it
Yeah.
until the moment where they find out what the kid has done.
Yep.
Yeah. Communication.
So,
Yeah. Communication. That moment, that whole, actually most of Goofy in this movie, please forgive me if my father is watching, but I will say like that his response and how he deals with it is so similar to my own dad, where it's like, even at the very beginning where he's just like hopes that if he's really sad that Max will want to come with him. Like that was my dad with everything. It was just like, well, look at the lawn outside. It's so tall. Like if
Yeah, that's
only
so
someone in the
tactic.
house would help me.
Right.
And no one
I've
would
been
pay
at work
attention.
all week
Yeah.
long, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and do this too.
'Cause that
yeah,
was-
my dad was
yeah.
like that too.
That was
Yeah.
totally my dad. And then there's that moment like after the hot tub scene where he like Goofy then knows that Max is like tricking him, or that that it's
Yeah.
this bad experience, and there's still that like literal fork in the road where he's just like,
yeah.
where are we going? I trust you with the map. And you're like,
Yeah.
the
The
guilt,
guilt.
the
guilt, yeah.
the
Yeah.
guilt trip. That would totally be, I
And then that
have been
the
in those
thumbnail you
situations.
shared on
Yeah.
Facebook with his face, you're just like, seriously, you literally went to Los Angeles instead of wherever it was. I forget
Yeah.
where were they going.
They were, I
Like
think they were
Destiny
heading to
Fishing
Idaho.
is
Yeah.
where
Oh,
they were
I know.
going.
Yeah, forgot.
Yeah. Well, I will say, even though it's not an impactful moment at all, my favorite moment in this movie is the first, maybe like, not right at the very beginning, but not the first song, where the valedictorian comes out on stage and she's just like
Yeah, Stacy.
super
Yeah, Stacy.
dorky and yet awesomely
like Blossom?
popular. Yeah,
I was going to
she's
say
like-
she has Blossom's hat.
She's got,
Yeah.
she looks like Blossom. She's
And
got
the guy-
braces. She seems
the
nerdy
guy's
and
like-
yet loved by everyone. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. And then I love the transition between her and then the principal, who is from
Yeah,
Princess
Crickets.
Bride, among other things. But like
Yeah.
when
Well,
he walks
Sean,
in and he's
yeah.
so quiet, it's like deadly quiet. That I don't know. There was
Crickets.
something
Right.
so again, kind of John Hughes about that. Like every character
Yeah.
is a caricature of like the high school experience. And I
The,
just
the two guys that
Those
look at
moments
each
are great.
other,
Yeah.
they're based off the directors, I believe, or the
Oh,
one of the
cool.
animators, I forget. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
also
And there's-
love Pauly Shore,
Pauly Shore.
who
is so
Yeah.
good.
apparently he's uncredited in the film because he didn't want Disney to leverage his name for marketing like they did with Robin
Yeah.
Williams and
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Well, look at his
Really?
character. It's marketing everywhere.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was
I
smart.
mean,
it was smart.
He's on
And-
the VHS cover. Like,
Yeah,
he's on the VHS cover.
I
Like,
know.
we're
And
like, yeah.
one of the things I read, they reference him as Max's best friend, and I was like, he's not Max's best friend.
No.
Right.
That's
No, it's
PJ.
Brand new to this
I
movie.
was like, what about PJ? Well, I want to call out a couple cool things that are coming in from people who are hanging out with us live. Game Freakness says that there's a VR experience of the dance concert from Disney on
Yep,
YouTube,
on
which we
YouTube.
should
Yep.
absolutely
What?
play.
I
That
need to
sounds
do that.
incredible.
It's
And then
crazy.
I did want to call this out, and I will say that we are a very white panel, so I won't go too in detail about this.
Whoa.
But Kathy is pointing out, which was it mentioned a ton in the documentary, that it is the quote unquote blackest Disney movie. It has really become like
Oh yeah.
wildly popular with that particular community, which I just think is awesome. Like I love
that.
I love it so very much. I love that this is like really, and maybe this is a good representation that Nat and I are like not as into it as everyone else, but this like really hits with men, with like father-son relationships, and apparently with the Black community as well, which I think is just really fantastic. Because there are so few movies. There's a ton of movies about daughters and mothers in all different kinds of contexts. So I think it's really nice that there is no mother in this one, and that there's not like that it is a father and son, and it's
Yeah.
this kind of male relationships. They're not really covered very well in a lot of movies. So
No.
No, and in this
Yeah.
one, we barely know who the mom is.
I know it's just
Yeah,
not
it's
even
like weird,
mentioned.
'cause-
But like, it's funny because it's either the 1950s,
Right.
you know, the one
Faceless.
that you see, faceless one. But I don't know. That was Junior. That wasn't really Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, Caleb, because I was going to mention the
Yeah.
50s cartoons with Goofy as George Jeef
George Geef. Yep.
Yeah.
George Geef, right?
and Junior. So,
Yeah.
And they
I-
do that even with Clarabelle
Yep.
was accused for a while of being Max's mom,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty
Was
funny.
accused.
Yeah.
Was accused from it. I can't say as I saw a lot of those, but I do remember like one of my favorite childhood memories was on Sunday nights we watched The Magical World of Disney.
yeah.
And that was like our like we
At
watched
6:00.
at 6:00.
Yeah.
We watched Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and then we
Mutual of Omaha.
and then we watched. Yes, right. That was like my favorite thing. It was like Sunday night. We made breakfast for dinner, and we watched those two things back to back as a family. And that was like my like as iconic for me as like family Friday night movie night with pizza. Like those were the things
Yeah.
we did
Yeah, it's
every
not
weekend.
like it's not the same anymore with the Wonderful World of Disney. I
No.
wish I was around because it would be. I mean, I watch stuff on YouTube still,
Yeah.
so it's really fun to see that stuff. But
Yeah.
But some episodes of Wonderful World of Disney would play the older
Yeah.
like older
Yeah,
Mickey,
they would
older
play, like, the
Goofy,
short
That's what I saw
the
a
shorts.
lot of them.
Yeah, which always was like I don't know. There's something about those that still is just so fun. Like I wish
Because
that
it was
there
on CBC here.
Yeah,
when I
for
was
us in
growing up, so-
Canada.
Yeah.
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 It was it's like the public
broadcasting
broadcasting
Yeah.
channel.
channel,
is it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
like it's a public station, and so everybody had access to it, whether you had cable or not, or satellite
Yeah.
or not.
Just sad.
And it was just something that everybody did on Sundays at 6
Yeah.
o'clock.
And now Disney
Yeah.
Plus has taken over cable, so you know, I'm
Yeah.
I'm Disney Channel. I still have cable until whenever we lose cable, but I still it's not as good anymore.
It's not
But
as good. It's not as sadly not as good anymore. Paul is agreeing. That was Sunday night. Sunday nights. I know we're just
Yeah.
like iconic as a result.
I mean, we ate dinner in front of the TV.
You're right. Exactly.
On Sunday
It was-
nights.
yeah.
We
That was
did.
like the
That was
only
super
night-
special.
We were allowed. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
We had
Well,
to suffer through Lawrence Welk to get to that. Lawrence
Oh.
Welk was also on Sunday nights, and that was like it was like torture, like sitting on the floor trying to pretend, and then to get to Mutual of Omaha to get to Disney.
Mutual of Omaha, yeah. I was trying to explain to my kids Mutual of Omaha. I was like trying to find videos, and they were looking at me like I was a lunatic. I was like, "Well, let me tell you about Mutual of Omaha."
Right.
And they were like, "What is going on?"
I think we also used to get in Canada, we used to get the show called The Raccoons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
Before.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on like on
And
a
that show
VHS
is
tape on YouTube.
amazing.
yeah, that show
It's
is
The
one of the
great.
Raccoons.
best theme songs of all time.
Yeah,
If
we
you
may-
don't know, look it up,
we
guys.
may have to
Yeah, I
find
have
out
to
what
watch
it
it. I have to watch it. So, I mean, there's a show called The Wuzzles, which I watched
Oh,
all
yeah, I
13
remember the
episodes.
I missed the
I have
Wuzzles.
a
I had all the
Wuzzle.
books and stuff, but like I never saw the cartoon for
Yeah.
whatever reason. We
The
didn't get it here
cartoon
in
is
Ottawa.
super cute.
So,
It is.
Well, what do
but
you think? So we haven't yet talked about Pete and PJ, who
Yeah.
are definitely
I
interesting
love PJ.
characters.
He's so cute.
PJ's great.
PJ is the best. He's just like the
Yeah.
kindest, most wonderful best friend, and I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then his dad
He's
is
like
such
ride
a
or die.
jerk,
He's like, oh, you
so-
want to do something completely crazy? Sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the funny thing is, Pete being a jerk goes all the way back to his debut in the 1920s.
Is
Yeah.
he that
So
old? That
it's
character?
not-
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was in the old Alice comedies,
Yep.
live action animated shorts that Disney
Well, he
did
was a
before.
cat. He was like a regular cat. He wasn't like
Yeah.
the known that
Yeah.
you see today cat.
He was
Yeah.
originally a bear, actually. In
Yeah,
those
bear, yep.
cartoons. Yeah. And then he debuted in the Mickey Mouse, very first sound Mickey Mouse cartoon, Steamboat Willie, as the cat
Yeah.
Oh.
that we kind
Wow.
of know him as today.
Chewing
Yeah,
tobacco.
remember
and, you know,
Yeah.
I remember him being a lot worse than in this movie. Like he was
Yes.
more of a bad guy.
He was a
Yeah.
bad
Whereas
guy on
in this,
Goof
they're
Troop.
kind of
Yeah.
like frenemies.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Like
Right.
they were
I mean,
friends. They
in
worked
a Goof
together.
Troop, he was more like a jerk too. He just
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
goofy
He
off
was
his-
more that nosy asshole neighbor that just
Yeah.
did everything he could to humiliate Goofy.
Yeah.
Whereas in the show, like his wife was always like, "Oh yeah, we should have Goofy and Max over for dinner tonight," and Pete's just like, "No."
Oh, Paul is pointing out that Rob Paulson, who plays the voice of PJ, has admitted that he's never seen this film in its entirety. That
Wow.
breaks my heart.
Wow. I've never
Oh.
heard that. I mean, I've seen all kinds of. I mean, he's done things with Jim Cummings and Bill Farmer on Jim Cummings' podcast, but I've
Mhm.
never heard that story. That's interesting.
I hope that's not true. I hope that's
I
a
mean,
true fact.
Rob Paulson was doing so many voices in the 90s, 80s and 90s, because he was like Raphael in Ninja Turtles.
Mhm.
Yep.
He was on Animaniacs. He did a bunch of other stuff too. So
He's done a lot of
like,
background voices for a lot of Disney films
yeah.
too.
So it's not surprising that if it's true that he hasn't seen the movie in its entirety, because when would he have had time?
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't that big when it came out.
Exactly.
It's big now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's
was
true.
telling Katie there was a trend on TikTok quite a while back. What was it? It was the what did I tell? I just told you before.
It was
Now I
it was
can't-
people that thought that he was like their favorite like crush, right? Like their like teen crush, Max.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
it was the
You have to
my
look it up.
brain. Wow, my brain works super badly. That's not a surprise. Oh, the long COVID's kicking my butt. Oh, the hear me out. I couldn't remember that. Okay,
Yeah.
so people were making cakes and saying like hear me out and then putting printouts of different like characters or actors that they
Mhm.
had crushes on when they were younger or even now, but
Even
it's
now,
like
yeah.
an odd choice. And a lot of people picked Max. So it's like that's when I realized, and this was maybe like however many months back, but I was like, oh wait, like this Goofy movie thing, like people are really into it.
Yeah.
And then I find out I'm like, no, there's a whole cult following for
Yeah.
it. Like, okay, cool. Like I
Yeah.
need to know more.
I mean, they're in parades. I mean,
They're
there are
in-
characters in the
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah.
People are clamoring for a Powerline reunion.
There
That would
should
be
be a Powerline
amazing.
reunion.
Yeah.
I would
be
absolutely go to
awesome.
that show.
We
I mean, they do Powerline during the Halloween parties, so
Right. Yeah. He
Nice.
kind of leaves the whole thing out.
I'm going to be there at Halloween.
Or
I'm
it's
very
Max.
excited.
It's Max as Powerline, right?
yeah,
Not-
Max is Powerline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I have to say, like the music in this movie. So, I was initially going to say, like, how do we rank this soundtrack? But I don't think that that's totally fair because
No.
like some of the other like classic Disney movies, like those soundtracks are just a different kind of thing. But I think like
Yeah.
this soundtrack is really good. Like
It is.
it's
It's not
super
bad.
nostalgic for anyone that, you know, that harkens and wishes we were back in the 90s. But Powerline songs are incredible. The
Yeah.
singer
They were
who
performed
did
by
them,
Tevin Campbell.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was apparently discovered by Quincy Jones at age 12 and mentored by Prince. Like this guy is like not a joke. Like,
Super
Well,
talented.
the songs were
Okay.
recorded at Prince's studio, right?
yeah, they were
Like, I think
recorded at Prince's
they-
studio at Paisley,
Paisley Gardens,
Paisley
yeah.
Park. And
Paisley Park.
yeah, it just like, I mean, that character even is so like, it's a mix of like Michael Jackson, Prince, like every individual just like can't help but be wowed by kind of iconic character. Like I don't know. It's not even that like, it's so funny because that character, like Powerline, is like both a central part of the movie as well as barely in the movie, but
Right.
but
Yeah.
that character is so cool. Like I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
He even has his own Power Limes candy at Epcot, so which is really
Wow.
funny. Yeah, his is from candy, like what are those, like sour candies?
That's
Which
awesome.
I was
that's
like,
so
and yeah,
cool.
it was funny because they sold that during the time when they did Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway in Disneyland, and then they made all this merchandise during D23 last year, and I'm like, man, why was I not there?
I know. Apparently, they were saying on the documentary that like they had no idea until they did that panel at
Yeah,
D23,
the
and we're like,
2015 one.
holy
Yeah, that thing
cow.
was so fun.
like people
to
were
watch.
just like there was like standing room only. They didn't even fit everyone in. Like people like there is
That is
something to
so
be
cool.
said. Like I like looking forward to doing some research on this, and who knows, maybe there's not even a ton on it, but it must be so like the power of a cult classic and that rise, you know, from being like so, I mean, these people worked so hard on this film.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, I
Yeah.
mean, for years, and like every conceivable crazy thing happened. Like, you know, they like thought they were gonna get all the way there. They had like issues. They had to delay the
They
date.
had a dot. There was that
Yeah,
little
there was a
dot
dot
that messed up the movie, and they're like, you know what?
They had to literally redo the movie because of a dot, and then like,
Yeah.
and then the, you know, the main like person who was like both, you know, a kind of like driving force for the movie, but also like made it super complicated to get all the way through, ended up like leaving Disney. So then they had like no one in there.
Yeah,
no one in
we
their
could probably do a
corner.
whole episode on Jeffrey Katzenberg
Yeah,
and his history
right?
with
Like,
Disney.
But I just, there was something about like what a ride these poor people went through, and similar for any cult classic movie where like
Yeah.
you've put all your like, you know, you've put all of your blood, sweat, and tears into the production of this, and then it fails, and
Yeah,
then
and you go,
Yeah.
and they don't get
years
the premiere in
later-
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They get in Disney or downtown Disney during the
Yeah.
time, and now Disney Springs, and they're like, why? And then it goes on Disney Channel and VHS, and it's like, well, that wasn't a.
Yeah, what a slap
We
in the
wish we could
face.
get
Like
this
they're
big.
like, oh, we're not even like, this was like Disney
Yeah.
Vault days, and they're like, yeah, we'll let this one go.
Just throw it on
We'll
Disney
just throw it
Channel.
on Disney Channel a whole bunch.
Speaking of Disney Channel, there's a making of documentary that came out on Disney
Yep.
Channel, hosted by Andrea Barber,
Oh, fun.
Kimmy Gibbler from Full House.
That's awesome.
Ah.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
That's awesome.
I watched it one day.
Was that the one where they
a couple
do
years ago.
the Goofy dance, where they're like, let's do the Goofy, and they're like,
I
you know,
think so.
yeah,
I may have to go back and watch that to see Kimmy Gibbler.
yeah, it's
but
very weird. But
I just, yeah, I don't know. There was just something about like what a crazy experience to like literally like 20 or 30 years later find out that like your movie actually is as popular or more, or like has had such a huge impact, and you have all these people
Yeah.
just telling you like what a difference this movie has made after
Right.
basically being told that like you failed and that was like the worst movie ever, and what were you even thinking? Like what a
It
ride.
must be a great feeling
Yeah,
now.
it's like
Yeah.
the worst
Today.
feeling and the best feeling, but you have to wait. You have to wait so long for the best feeling. I mean,
They
Princess
got their
Bride
revenge.
suffered that. Like
they
a whole
got their
bunch of-
Yeah.
friendship.
yeah,
They got their
Well,
revenge 15 years later with
Yeah.
a sequel.
they did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sequel.
They did.
Great.
They did.
I don't think I've seen the sequel.
I don't think I've seen
Obviously,
the
I'm gonna have to watch
sequel.
it.
Yeah.
Guys.
It was direct to
is-
video in 2000.
Yeah, directed
I
2000.
actually,
Yep.
I think I like the sequel better.
Oh, all
It's-
right.
Ooh.
Oh,
I know.
It's,
I don't.
all I can say
don't
is
send me
Max
hate
going to
mail.
college.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and Goofy goes to college with him.
yeah.
And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Because that's like it hit me right about the time where that's where I
The
was
timing
when
was
I saw
perfect.
it.
Yeah.
Because it was something
Yeah,
I had to
makes
go
sense.
back and look at. And
That makes
yet,
sense.
the first one, like all father-son problems, is solved by Bigfoot. which
Yes.
that's how my dad and I reconciled. And
and the giant ball of yarn and the possum bark. And I don't know.
The animatronics.
There's something about a road
Goofy-
trip. Like every time I
Goofy
watch a
in the
road
mime.
trip movie, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go on a road trip.
Yeah.
Katie is
Yeah.
definitely goofy
I'm
on road
definitely
trips.
goofy. I'm goofy on a road
She
trip.
wants to stop at all of the
Yeah.
ridiculous
Yes.
little things, and
Nope,
I'm
that's
like,
me too.
let's do it.
Yeah.
I
Sean
was
and
just-
are
I was-
goofy.
I was just telling my kids that we used to drive to Florida every year, and when we went, there was somewhere in Georgia that had a chicken that played basketball, and I fully realized
I missed
that
that.
it was probably an awful, cruel practice, but it was so awesome. Like you put your quarter in, and the thing opened, and the chicken came out and bounced it and dunked the basketball, and then went back in, and it closed. And I would just spend all of my money.
That's incredible. Was it a real chicken
saw-
or an animatronic?
Oh yeah, real chicken, absolutely live chicken. There was like a
crap.
two-headed patriotic snake that we would stop and
That's
see.
so weird.
It was very roadside attractions. It's
Roadside
not just
attractions are
Yeah.
a couple years back. My husband, this is my husband's like personal nightmare. Like the idea of having he will probably be talked into it, but he is not a fan. But so one of my really good friends a few years back agreed to go on this like crazy road trip. We were going from the Boston area to Michigan for a conference weekend. So I got an app for my phone that was like weird roadside attractions. And so like it literally like as you were driving would just like beep and be like, you're only 2 miles away from world's largest carrot field and all
Right.
these like weird things. And we stopped at probably like 30 different ones. And I kept
I
waiting
love
for
it.
her to
Is
say,
that when you saw
no.
the tiny church?
Yeah, we saw a tiny church. We saw giant carrots. There was like the crazy. I can't even remember all of them, but it was just nuts. I kept waiting for her to be like, "This is enough," and she was just like, "This is really fun." I'm like, "This is really fun."
I
Katie,
miss
the
those
mark,
things.
the mark of a good friend is them enabling you to
Yeah.
do this stuff.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is absolutely correct.
Everyone was happy because Dane didn't have to go, so he was thrilled, and both Mel and I were equally thrilled at being able to do all of it. And we definitely should do it again. But I do think that like what's kind of fun about this movie is that like there's something about road trip movies, but a lot of the road trip movies, particularly the ones that I really like, are like everything goes horribly wrong road trip movies, and like they're slapsticky, like planes, trains, and automobiles, like all of the vacation movies, and usually, which I never noticed because I love those movies. But my husband had pointed out that like he hates them because the dad is always like the idiot and he fails and like there's no like learning other than like,
He
this
talked about
poor
that on
dad.
the Jetsons review.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one though doesn't. I like it a little bit because he's goofy and he is like embarrassing,
Well,
but
yeah.
this one doesn't have it as
But he's
Sadly.
self-aware.
He's
He
self-aware,
does say
yeah.
like, "How much of an idiot do you think I am? Like, how stupid do you think I am?" Like he
Yeah.
does end up having that conversation with Max, and it flips that story a bit. He's not
does,
just the
yeah.
goofy, like pile everything on him dad. Like so that's one thing I liked about this movie that was a bit different than, like you said, a lot of the others, like Vacation or The
Yeah.
Jetsons. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
does
Speaking
any,
of piling everything on top, how did Goofy get all of that stuff on the top of the car?
Exactly.
'Cause that's what dads do.
that's what dads
When-
can,
when you-
dads can pack a
When you
car.
become a father, there's a class. It involves some Tetris and a little bit of Crisco, and you are able to pack everything that you need for a 4-month excursion into the wilderness
And
on
then they
top of your
lost
car.
all of it.
Yeah, just
They're
by
getting
hitting
the
that
Bigfoot
it just hit the
encounter, and then like the car just going into the Grand Canyon and
Yeah.
dropping into the river.
yeah.
That car barely made it back. Actually, it didn't really
It
fully
didn't
make
make
it
it
back.
back. It blew up
Gone.
in front of Roxanne's house.
Sacrifices itself in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there
That
needed
poor
to be a
car.
waterfall. That was definitely important.
Yeah.
There's always like
And Bigfoot.
Bigfoot and a waterfall.
Bigfoot. I mean, there's two moments. I mean, I talked about the I mean, there's two moments. That scene with the high dad soup. I mean, it
Oh,
hits hard.
yeah.
Oh,
And that
that's so
scene where he's,
precious.
they're about to fall into the gorge. Those were really. I mean, Bill Farmer talked about that. Like the scene, he's like to his son, like, "Oh, how'd you like the movie?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't. I was sad when they were making a relationship with," and it was like, "Oh man, it's like, yeah."
What
The
if-
high dad suit.
What a
hijack
change
suit
for
is
that actor, like having to do like he was
Yeah.
so used to Goofy only being like slapsticky and goofy, and then this
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
he has to be like heartfelt, and like that would be difficult for like
I got some depth.
had some
Yeah.
depth
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, the soup scene was really I like
Mm-hmm.
again like it does a really nice job of being like really relatable, given that it's a cartoon, given that it's
Yep.
Goofy, which is like really like he's the hardest character to do that with. Like I feel like any other
Yeah.
character would be easier. Okay, maybe not like the Roadrunner and the Coyote. Maybe they would be harder
Yeah.
to do that with. Not in the Disney World, but yeah, I don't know. That was not a small challenge to be able to kind of
No.
pull that kind of story from these characters.
Yeah. Especially coming off of Goof Troop.
Yeah. YouTube was very all over the place, like
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to talk about the opening of the VHS.
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah.
Caleb does
Yeah,
too.
so-
Yeah,
Canadian
the two-
version?
two you can
Is that
do.
right
Yeah.
off
So
stage?
in the Canadian version, which is almost exactly like the US version, except the music video after the Gargoyles the movie promo and the interactive storybook promo is not there. Like I knew
Aw.
nothing about it until I watched the American opening.
Yeah,
on
that has
YouTube.
Parachute Express with Dr.
No clue
Looney.
what that was.
It's funny because when I saw it, I thought, I'm like, am I tripping or something? Like you see this
Yeah.
background with Donald and the Eric Quanda bird and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
but like when I saw the opening, I'm like, I don't remember this music video being on the tape. So
Yeah.
I thought maybe I had like a version of the VHS that just didn't have it, but like other printings did.
Nope. Just a Canadian
It just
thing.
is completely absent from all the VHS except in the US.
Absolutely. That's how Canada always
happens.
gets slighted in those kinds of moments. Either it's a translation thing or it's a like rights for whatever
Yeah.
thing.
It depends also where we're getting stuff. If we're getting stuff from Europe and the UK, we get one version. If we're getting stuff from the US, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter, it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but then it's like, oh, no, it has to be Harry Potter and the
Sorcerer's
what's
Stone.
it? Sorcerer's.
Yeah.
Like the Wizard's Stone. Clearly I have the Philosopher's Stone edition. But
Yeah.
we have this tendency to get, depending where we're getting
Mhm.
our media from, like it gets
I thought
changed
maybe
a
it
bit.
was just the fact that here in Canada, because we didn't have Disney Channel at the time,
We did
that
not.
it was something the music video.
so
We had
when did
Family
you
Channel.
when did you get Disney Channel?
It was only on satellite.
2007 yeah,
Okay.
only on
Yeah,
satellite. but-
I should know that because I did a podcast with Sean
yeah,
about
but
that.
later we got Disney Channel Canada in probably about 2007, 2008, maybe 2009 at the latest.
Wow.
I got it when Disney Plus came out.
I was
I was
gonna say,
like,
I was
oh,
already in
these are the
States at
things that
point.
people talk about.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, Halloween Town is a real thing.
Yeah, we
we just had it on Family Channel all the time.
Yeah.
That's where
Channel,
all
yep.
the Disney stuff aired.
Yeah, we did have we had Family Channel. What were you gonna say, Caleb, about the VHS?
Oh yeah, they showed like the CD-ROM of Pocahontas, Winnie the
Yeah.
Pooh, and then Parachute Express, Dr. Looney, and they had all this weird background thing with the jungle. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah, it was very
But see, my favorite preview is the Gargoyles one because I'd already been
Yeah,
watching Gargoyles
Gargoyles
on
is
TV
great.
at the time, and
I
Yeah.
love
I'm like-
Gargoyles.
and I think I'd already seen the VHS for Gargoyles the movie, so I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
That was a great show.
yeah.
Oh, it was a great show. I only found this fact out this morning and I posted it on our Instagram, but I just think it's awesome that Aaron Lore, who I'm probably mispronouncing his name,
Yep.
he is
Yep.
Max's
Yep.
singing voice in a Goofy movie.
Yep.
He was also Dean in the Mighty Ducks series, and he's married to
okay.
Idina Menzel, which I think is
Oh wow, look at that.
I
That's
So-
so cool.
it's like
That's
So when
incredible.
I-
I'm
musical
like,
family.
he's
So when
awesome.
I did my Mighty Ducks blog post,
Yeah.
I actually mentioned that Aaron Lore had been in a Goofy movie as the singing
I
voice
guess
for
I didn't
Max.
put two and two together.
That's really
That's so
cool.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But then it's all of a sudden in 2015 during that D23 event, Jason Marsden got to sing, what was it called? On the Open Road.
yeah,
So
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's actually a good singer. They just wanted
Right.
they wanted like a, I don't know, professionally trained singer, I guess, in order to for
Yeah.
the singing parts. He also
Yeah.
is he's the voice of Thackeray Binks in Hocus Pocus, so
Yes.
which I
Yep.
think is great.
Oh,
And he was also on Step by Step as
Step by Step. A
Dana's
lot of things he's done for
boyfriend.
Disney. He did a
Yeah.
show for Disney I grew up with on Toon Disney called The Weekenders. He
Oh,
played,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I remember that show.
yeah, he played this guy on. He would say later days every time he left the show. So
Oh, that
it was
is
a good show.
too funny. Just going through my notes. Let's see if we missed anything. What have we missed?
So
What have we talked
what
about?
are all your favorite songs
Oh,
from this
favorite
movie?
songs. That's a
Oh,
good one.
I mean, Lester's Possum Park.
Let's just Possum Rock is solid. There's
It
some
really
good
is.
ones, though. It
It's
really
a funny
is.
scene.
It's a great scene.
It is.
Literally, they were making it's so funny because they were making fun of like Country Bears or something, you know, like
Yeah,
that.
the Country Bear Jamboree, yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Awesome.
one
Um,
kid is just calling Max a dork. I'm like, you're at the possum park.
You're all
I
here
don't.
together.
Yeah.
And that
Might be
little
the
girl's
pot calling the
terrifying,
kettle
by the
black.
way. The girl that keeps smiling at Max, I'm like,
Yeah.
stop putting the camera on her.
I like On the Open Road. That was my favorite song. It
Mm.
reminded me of road
It
trips
was
when I
a
was a kid.
disturbing music video, though. They had someone tied up. They had a corpse come to life. What the hell was going
Yeah.
on in
Did
this
they
music video?
really?
Just like when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
I did not see the music video. So
Every American child's youth. We also have that on our morning wake up alarm on the speaker.
On
So
the Open Road?
Nice.
we hear that frequently at our house.
Yeah.
that's
For me-
awesome.
So my favorite two are On the Open Road, of course,
Yep.
because it's just a fun tune to sing to. And then three, After Today, Max's song for, getting at what he wants in the movie, what his motives are.
Mhm.
And then, of course, Stand Out, the big power
Yeah.
number that
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Max does in the gymnasium
Yeah.
when Mazer is being his boring self.
I mean,
I
and
like
I think
Weezer.
that's it for songs. I mean, the score was by, I forget his name.
I don't
It was
think I
some
have it written
person.
down. Sorry.
Not really. Yeah, I didn't have it written down either, but it was a
Yeah.
good score too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is
Carter
a great
Burwell.
soundtrack.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Quarter. Yep.
Yeah, I think I think it's a solid soundtrack. I can't think of a song that was in it that like I didn't like. They were all
Mhm.
catchy. They were all well done. It's so yeah, I don't know. It would be so difficult to score a film. Like I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Paul
It's
is
fun to hear. I mean,
pointing
it's fun to
out-
watch a score be filmed. So
Yes.
I believe it. Paul's pointing out all the fun Easter eggs. The giraffes from Dumbo 1941 can be spotted during the song On the Open Road. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of my favorite
Yep.
part about that song. It's not my favorite song in the movie, but I definitely like it, and I love the.
I mean, Mickey and Donald make a cameo.
Yes, yeah.
I
And
love
it's so
the
funny because
cameos and the
literally-
ridiculousness.
Because literally in the beginning, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna go with a friend." He's like, "Well, oh yeah, Donald
Donald
Duck."
Duck?
And then Donald Duck is hitchhiking
Yeah.
with Mickey.
with Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
I will say this is probably the only like negative I will say about this movie. I feel like they could have done a better job with the reasoning why they go on this road trip. Like it is
Yeah.
so ridiculous that Goofy just believes Pete and assumes that Max is going to become like a criminal in jail.
Well,
for, like,
it wasn't just Pete though. It was Principal Mazer.
I guess.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
like, "You're gonna
the
be locked
acting
up in the
poorly
electric
too.
chair."
yeah.
That
Max
principal
was
was pretty
doing,
pretty convincing.
right?
And there's a
Like-
there's a deleted scene where they actually show Max in an electric chair, and it was a deleted song scene or whatever. I'm like, good thing that didn't show up in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would
Disney.
have been really disturbing.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I think the principal exaggerated a little by saying your kid's gonna get the electric chair.
just-
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
went to
feel
the
like-
principal's office one time, but it was like not for. I mean, it wasn't for like being in trouble. It was someone
Yeah.
else got me in trouble, but it was like, it's like, oh my gosh, you're making it a ridiculous to say, oh, he's going to go in the electric chair. Like,
I think Mazer had a bad childhood, and so he's taking it out on the students at the school
The
now.
prequel of a Goofy movie is just Mazur's story.
Yeah.
We
Right.
find out his dark childhood. I just thought it would have been like completely fine for like it would have been as good, if not better, in my opinion, a movie where if Max had just gotten home and Goofy was like, I want to go on this family like road trip with you, and like and they had this whole conflict about it. Like I don't think we needed the added level of like he thinks he's going to become a criminal. Like that just felt a little slapsticky to me, which maybe is fine because again it is Goofy, but I guess then Pete wouldn't have been as involved. Like I did kind of like the Pete road trip versus the Pete and PJ road trip versus the
Talk
Goofy and
about
Max.
glamping.
Yeah, I think I was like
Yeah.
RV.
that RV is incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If only it was real.
I know.
I know, that'd be so cool. I mean, I went in an RV with my dad's dad, and it was not like that at all. So
No.
It's
The
never
bowling
quite as
alley on the
cool.
roof.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? A bowling alley on the roof would be absolutely incredible.
that's a sad scene though, where he's like telling his son, like, "Oh, you gotta kick the thing because I had to look good in front of Goofy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
It's
only
like,
made him look dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man, you didn't get it.
Yeah. And yet
Yeah.
PJ
Like,
is
hang
like
on.
a well-adjusted, totally fine character.
Yeah.
I do
So
love
far.
like most Disney movies brutally kill off the mother so that they can have these like nice stories between the father and the
And
kids.
what happened to Peg and what happened to Pistol from
I know,
Goofy?
Yeah.
and I kind of love that
Sometimes
in
in
this one
Waffles and
there just
Chainsaw, the
are
cat
no
and dog.
mothers with
Yeah,
no
Chainsaw,
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice
Maybe
that
he
they
was-
didn't mention
They
any
didn't mention
like
it. No, they just don't
horrible
I mean, it
death.
was probably part of the
No.
divorce, thing. He got PJ.
Peg probably got fed up with Pete's
Yeah.
bullcrap and just divorced him.
Yeah.
Took Pistol with her.
Yeah.
Said, here, you can have Pete. You can have PJ.
I think
Or
the moms
PJ.
just gave up.
The moms,
Yeah.
the moms are on their own
Probably.
road trip.
I've tried.
But she was so fun. I mean, she just would be this nice person. She would just yell.
Yeah.
So
That's so funny. I guess I can't say anything because I remember watching Goof Troop, but I do not remember her character at all. on
I
that show.
only watched it on Disney Plus because I never grew up with it either. So I had to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I actually watched it when it was coming out, and yeah, Peg was in it, but not like a major focus. It was still mostly Goofy and Max and Pete and PJ. So
All right. Well, that does make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I've seen this show a lot. Why
Yeah.
have I just blocked out these characters? Any other final thoughts? What Goofy movie? This is the sleeper surprise, I think, for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it's just so much.
yeah, so much to unpack with this one.
It's great.
I've
I'm
really
happy.
kind of
I'm
fits
happy that
in-
it was made.
It kind of fits in with what Disney was doing at the time too, with like The Lion King and Aladdin and all the
My
mainline
favorite run of
movies.
Disney movies, but that's just because that's when I grew up. I was like, yeah, Little
Yeah.
Mermaid, Aladdin,
Yeah.
Yep.
Lion King. Those are like my three. Like those are the. I
Yeah.
mean, other ones good, but those ones are my like. I will watch those
Yeah.
until the end.
I
of
will.
time.
Yeah, I watched. I mean, I watched those on VHS too a lot.
Yeah.
They were part of my generation too, even though it was
So-
2000s, but still.
Well, so what's crazy for me is that in 2000, a Goofy movie came out on DVD and got re-released on VHS. But it was part of one of the main like Walt Disney home video lines,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection, which Caleb, that's
had that.
probably what the VHS that you had growing up
yeah.
when you first saw it, because that would have been 2000s. That's when it would
Yeah, I
have
grew
come
up
out.
with the classics, the Walt Disney classics.
Yeah.
So
So, and that was a huge mishmash of stuff because it had like direct-to-video stuff. It had Pixar movies as part of it.
Mm.
yep.
It was just bizarre.
It was rebranding. They're just
Yeah.
rebranding old movies, remarketing them,
And
saying,
putting
you
all
know,
of them out on DVD for the
And it's
first
sad
time
the
too.
Vault doesn't exist anymore because
No.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
They destroyed it. They destroyed the vault. So
I used to hate the vault, and now I
thank
kind of
you,
miss
Bob
it.
Iger.
When Disney Plus first came out, they're like, we're unvaulting everything.
Yeah.
And I'm visiting Katie, and I was at her place, and I think you guys had somewhere to go. You were out for dinner or something. So I had just driven in from Montreal. And I'm sitting there, and as soon as Katie and her husband walked back in, I was like, they didn't unvault everything because they didn't unvault the following. That whole list, and Katie's like, you're crazy.
I was like,
I'm like, well, they said they unvaulted everything, and I really wanted to see this because I haven't seen it since I was a kid. It's still vaulted.
They did not unvault everything, but they unvaulted a lot of stuff. But I
They
did love the I don't know. I'm enough of a geek and a collector that like I liked that things were still in the vault. I didn't realize how much I liked it until the vault was gone. But I liked the idea of like you can only buy Beauty and the Beast for like from this time to this time. And I was
For a
like,
limited time.
Finally, they're Blockbuster. I mean, I would rent stuff from Blockbuster.
yeah.
But
That was
If
the
they
Parker's
charged
video
too
for me.
much,
Aladdin,
they charged
Beauty and the
too
Beast,
much
nice.
for the movies when
Yeah.
they unvaulted them.
That's
Well,
true.
and
I
then they
remember,
do Cinderella, Cinderella Platinum Edition,
Yeah.
Cinderella Double Platinum Sterling
Everything.
Edition, still Cinderella Golden
I
Platinum
bought
Crystal
every
Slipper.
DVD they had. I didn't care what it was.
But also it's like they would
Super special
unvault
crystal
something for a limited time and they
Yeah.
would charge you like $50-$60 for the DVD. I'm like, but I
Yeah.
already have it on VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. And then
Oh,
like,
and-
of course we bought them.
Yeah.
And now there's
That's-
Blu-ray.
And now there's
Crazy.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, it took a long time for a lot of Disney movies to come out on Blu-ray because
Yeah.
Because
I don't even understand what their complicated rights issues are. I mean, because it's very bizarre that there are some
Was it-
things like from the 60s and 70s that we can't see, but they're on Amazon or I
Yeah.
mean, it's very
Yeah.
weird how it's just Jackson
Yeah.
Pollock all over the
Yeah.
world. And I have
Yes.
no idea like when I'll ever get to see some of these things.
My
Yeah.
TV finally added. This is how I've reached my point where I'm like crotchety old person about things. but
And yelling at cloud.
yeah, I'm like
Right.
yelling at all kinds of things. But I did have this like wonderful old person moment where my kids both looked at me like I was crazy because I turned on my smart TV and I have like I have a frame TV in one room and I have an Amazon Fire TV in the other one. But both of them now have this feature where like on the main menu, you can just search and it will tell you like where the movie is on what platform. And I was like, why is
Wow.
this taking so long? Like I was having to like
Yeah.
search on my phone to figure out like how to find where this is. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I have like a pile, like a Scrooge McDuck size pile of DVDs that I can't, I'm like, if I just went over there and found it, I could actually just play it on my DVD player.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
But,
And it was so much better back then. They
it
had
was,
the,
yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's funny with the VHS, the voice of the VHS was Mark Elliott, who passed
Yes.
away, I think,
Yeah.
was it 3 years ago? And I was
Yeah, somewhere
devastated.
around there.
I was so devastated because I'm
Yeah.
like, that was the voice that I grew up hearing all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Same.
yeah, it's just a great.
And of course, on the VHS that I have, so Katie, you're going to be proud of me. On Tuesday night, I watched it on VHS and DVD.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Same
I was
night.
trying to find it. I was like, man, I gotta find my VHS tape.
You are all awesome. I often feel
Um,
as though I really should have called this the DVD club because I really own way more DVDs than I own VHS.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Not
owns
all
a
the
bunch of
VHS lasted.
Well, we all grew up with VHSs, so
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
VHS
How
is
many
a little
times
romantic.
did our
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
it's a
yeah,
whole thing.
I agree.
On-
they're a
on-
cooler
I
medium.
do
had the
any of your
original-
kids know about VHSs? Because I know I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have kids, but
We still have a
Oh, they do.
VCR, and we have like I do have VHS. I just don't have nearly as many as I do DVD.
they didn't
So-
last as long. They would get eaten.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
get
Like the amount of
Yeah.
times you had to get a pencil to like
Right?
yeah,
ah,
So what's crazy is that when a Goofy movie first came out on VHS at the end of 1995, the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection was still coming out.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So there's the preview for it
right.
for whatever was coming out at that time at the beginning of the tape
oh,
with Mark Elliott doing the voiceover.
yeah, that's
Aw.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
So
really
I thought that
think
was-
I would spend a lot more
really
money
cool.
on streaming services if they would just play the original like previews and
Yeah,
commercials
just
from
do
the
it.
time.
yeah, exactly.
they have
You can
like
play the
literally there's a
commercials.
19
I want
There's like-
90s
okay, it's not
commercials.
there
Yeah.
was a 1977 the Musketeers at Walt Disney World, they showed commercials. I was like, this is crazy. Why can't you just do this or have
Yeah.
like a stream or something? It's
Yeah.
like they don't listen. It's like, oh, we just care about Taylor Swift or whatever song that's really popular. It's like,
No offense to Taylor. We
no,
all
no,
love
no, it's
her.
not
I don't want her
Swift,
fans
but
to
it's
come
just
after
saying,
us.
like, just like,
Yeah.
We love you. We love you.
say hate mail at. No, okay.
Oh, too funny. Well,
Yeah.
I so appreciate you all for hanging out with us tonight to talk all
Thank
about
you.
This was
a
fun.
goofy movie.
It's a
And
blast.
Disney in general is just so awesome. I want, before
Yeah.
we pop off, I know Josh has a blog. Do you want to let us know about your blog, Josh?
Yeah, so you can find me at Josh's Geek Cave at blogspot.com. And also the Star Wars Journal and the Star Trek Journal. But the Geek Cave is my main one. That's where you
love
can
it.
find all my nostalgic VHS and CD and DVD and comic
Nice.
book and toy talks.
It's a super
I'm like,
fun
is
read.
the Star Trek one a journal or a log?
Yeah,
I
should
called
be
it
a
the Star Trek
log.
Journal just to keep
Yeah,
it more
escape
kind of
journal.
like a newspaper. So like,
Yeah.
you know, the whatever journal. So
I
love
know,
it.
I'm joking.
And Sean, you have an awesome show. You want to let us know about it?
Yeah. So I do with my buddy Andrew, we do, and Caleb's there quite frequently. We do but mostly Disney podcast. We do it live Tuesday-ish nights at 7:30. So if you want to come by, well, life gets in the way. But if you want to come by and talk Disney, we do it kind of similar to this, live and jump in the comments. We do it here on YouTube and on Facebook. And then if you search but mostly Disney, you'll find my YouTube channel and social media stuff. So I think I've got the corner covered on but mostly Disney for now.
It's also in the show notes and in the description, depending on where you are listening or watching later. But so we need to mention this because I don't think Nat knows this either. Sean's nickname is Tater. So he's like made for this show. He's like the perfect guest for this show.
It is. I saw that
So-
pop up as Sean. I never know what to do. I tried to
I'm
stay as
wearing
Sean.
Ah, there we go.
I love it.
my
We'll
shirt tonight.
Sean, we will have to
Oh,
send
nice.
you and
Oh, you're
Caleb
because
some t-shirts.
I didn't have a goofy
The
I didn't
tail.
have a goofy movie shirt
Yeah,
or
I
like
wish
a
I had
Disney
that
shirt
too. I
to
wish I
wear,
had
so
that
wore my regular Thursday night attire.
I love it. I love it. Well, we should have called you Tater throughout the entire night, but I thought it was a fun reveal at the end.
Yes. The reason to stick around.
Exactly. All right, Caleb, that leaves you. Where can people find you?
You can find me in all my socials on Linktree/Caleb Joshua Hill. I do a lot of stuff for history, Disney history and stuff. And some people I love. So
I love
I
it.
talk about some actresses and actors that I love. But yeah.
That's awesome.
You can check me out there. And the links are all down below.
Yep,
in
we
this
have all
video.
of the links. One of my friends calls it the shibboloo or something to that extent. So it's down
Shibboloo.
there. It's down there in the weird show notes or the description, whatever you want to call it. But thank you so much for everyone for hanging out, and thanks for if you are watching or listening later. We are always just so blown away whenever sends emails and leaves us voicemails and tells us that whatever movie we're reviewing is like their all-time favorite movie. So we may have to start doing a follow up for some of people who are we have a couple of friends who are ride or die for That Thing You Do, which we did as I think episode 2. So we may have to pull some out of the some out of the vault, the VHS Club vault, and
I
redo
think there's
some of those
something
episodes.
coming up with That Thing You Do, because I've seen on TikTok the studio that owns it, I can't remember if it was
Yeah.
Paramount or whoever, has been pushing a lot of That Thing You Do content on TikTok.
I think a bunch of them are hitting milestone anniversaries. So there's,
Yeah.
there's some fun stuff,
Yeah.
but
Something's happening with that movie, which is fine because
Yeah,
we love it.
we're all in. We're all in for that one playing on repeat in our minds. But thank you so much.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I could say the 30th anniversary to a Goofy movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Happy 30th
Ooh.
anniversary.
And then
Wild.
Toy Story's 30th
And Toy
anniversary
Story,
is
yeah.
later this year
Yep.
Dear
too.
Lord.
So
There's a bunch of great ones that are hitting 30 this year. Which
Surprise.
I still
I mean, we did Batman Forever.
Yeah.
So that was 30th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie was 30th this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we
A
did
lot of
Jaws
both.
at 50, which still feels
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
50 years ago, if I gave the date, would not be what 50 years ago actually was. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
it's not the same, so yeah, but fun to get to chat about these movies. And I really appreciate everyone showing up and giving us suggestions. We are nearing episode 100, and I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting what our order is, but we decided that episode 100 needed to be, Nat, you going to tell them?
We are going to be doing E.T.
E.T.
That's a good one.
It felt like
I got
that
it on
needed
Blu-ray,
to be,
so I'll watch it.
That needed to be
It
episode
was
100.
the top. So at first I was thinking, what was the top, like the highest grossing film of the 90s? And then I was like, oh, it's Titanic. We just did that.
Yeah.
I actually thought about it the next day. I'm like, we did that last night. Oh, so I'm like, well, what's the top grossing film of the 80s? E.T. And obviously we love E.T. And I don't know if it would be super mean to ask Katie's brother to come on to do E.T. with us, because he did not like E.T. as a child.
A Goofy movie is his favorite movie, so we should absolutely have him come on for E.T. just
For
to
his
really...
worst movie. That's perfect.
I was gonna say.
He was terrified of E.T. when he was little, which fair enough. Like the movie's pretty scary. I still ugly cry through a good chunk of that movie.
Val has both seen E.T. and
so
loved it, so we may have to have you on, Val.
We love E.T.
So E.T. will be episode 100, and I can't remember what the next couple ones are, but I think Monty Python and The Search for the Holy Grail was in there, and a couple of other fun ones. So stay tuned. Make sure you sign up for our emails, which you can find over at the VHSClubPod.com. And hang out with us. As similar to Tater, we are most Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, or you can listen and watch wherever you'd like and whenever you'd like. But thanks to all of you for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Katie and Nat, rocking